Good morning students. Today we are going to learn about salts from chapter 2 acid, bases and salts. As soon as I say the name salt, all may think about the common salt, that is sodium chloride, used in our daily food. It's not that only sodium chloride is a salt. In addition to that, huge family of compounds called salts are available. How do we get salt? Salts can be prepared by the reaction of acid with metal or metal carbonate or metal oxide, or bases with metal or non-metal oxide. Apart from these methods, one of the most important methods to prepare the salt is by neutralization of acid by base. When any acid is made to react with any base, a neutral compound salt is obtained along with water and heat is also released while the salt is formed. These salts may be chlorides, sulfides, nitrates, carbonates or acetates. Based on the nature of acid and the base that are used for making salt, salts can be divided into three types: acidic salt, basic salt and neutral salt. Let us see how acidic salt is formed. When the acid is strong and the base is weak, the salt formed is acidic salt. For example, HCl is a strong acid and ammonium hydroxide is a weak base. Then the salt formed is ammonium chloride, which is an acidic salt. When the acid is weak and the base is strong, then the salt formed is a basic salt. For example, acetic acid is a weak acid, and when it is made to react with a strong base like sodium hydroxide, it forms sodium acetate, which is a basic salt. When both acid and base are strong, then the salt formed is referred as neutral salt. For example, HCl is a strong acid and NaOH is a strong base. When these two react with each other, they form sodium chloride, which is a neutral salt. In all these reactions, hydrogen from acid and hydroxide from base combines together to form water. So the nature of the salt depends upon the nature of parent acid and parent base. Now let's move on to learn about the 5 important salts that plays a very important role in our daily life. The first salt is common salt, which is NaCl. Second is baking soda, which is NaHCO3. Third salt is washing soda, Na2CO3.10H2O. And the fourth salt is bleaching powder with the formula CaOCl2. And fifth salt is plaster of Paris with the formula CaSO4.12H2O. The common salt, sodium chloride, is obtained from the natural source, seawater, in the dissolved form. By the process of evaporation, this salt is obtained. Apart from this, common salt is also obtained from the underground deposit as a rock salt. In the industries, this NaCl can be prepared by the neutralization reaction of hydrochloric acid with sodium hydroxide. We have learned about the role of common salt in the history. Mahatma Gandhi, as a part of freedom struggle, started Dandi March to get the rights for the salt. Common salt is used in our daily food as a preservative and also in the preparation of soap. It is also used as a raw material in industry to manufacture a lot of useful chemicals like sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate and bleaching powder. One of the most important industrial use of the sodium chloride is the preparation of NaOH, that is caustic soda. On passing electricity through a concentrated solution of NaCl, which is called as brine solution, it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide along with two gases, hydrogen and chlorine. This process is called chlor-alkali process because the products formed are chlor for chlorine and alkali for sodium hydroxide. This chlor-alkali process is considered as very important because all the three products obtained in this process have large variety of uses. Sodium hydroxide is used for making soaps, detergents, synthetic fibers, papers, dyes and bleaches. Chlorine is used to disinfect germs in drinking water, used in the production of bleaching powder, PVC, pesticides, CFC and chloroform. Hydrogen is used as a fuel for rockets, preparing fertilizers and to make margarine from vegetable oil. Hydrochloric acid obtained by combining hydrogen and chlorine gas is used to clean the steels used in medicine and cosmetics and to prepare the ammonium chloride. The second salt is baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate with the formula NaHCO3. It is prepared by reacting the concentrated solution of NaCl with ammonia and carbon dioxide. Baking soda is a basic salt and it is used to make crispy pakoras and cakes and bread soft and spongy. Baking soda on heating forms Na2CO3 along with carbon dioxide and water. Na2CO3 formed gives bitter taste to the breads and cakes, so tartaric acid is added to the baking soda as it neutralizes the bitterness caused due to the formation of Na2CO3. Carbon dioxide released from this reaction fills the gaps of the bread and cake and makes it fluffy, soft and spongy. The baking soda, sodium bicarbonate along with tartaric acid is called as baking powder. Baking soda is also used as an antacid to remove the acidity of stomach and also used in soda acid fire extinguisher. The third important salt is washing soda, which is sodium carbonate decahydrate with the formula Na2CO3.10H2O. Washing soda and removing these 10 water molecules becomes anhydrous and it is called as soda ash. It can be prepared by heating the baking soda. On heating, NaHCO3 decomposes to give Na2CO3. Na2CO3 on crystallization forms Na2CO3.10H2O, which is washing soda. This washing soda is used as a cleansing agent, removes the permanent hardness of water, and it is also used to manufacture borax, glass, soap, and paper. The fourth salt is bleaching powder, which is calcium oxychloride with the formula CaOCl2. It is also called as chlorine of lime. It is prepared by passing chlorine gas into the slaked lime, which is calcium hydroxide. So CaOH twice plus Cl2 gives CaOCl2, which is the bleaching powder. It is used to bleach cotton in textile industry and also used in laundries. It is used to disinfect drinking water, manufacture chloroform, and it also makes wool unshrinkable. The next salt is plaster of Paris, which is calcium sulfate hemihydrate with the formula CaSO4.H2O. It is prepared from gypsum by heating at 373 Kelvin. Gypsum is calcium sulfate dihydrate. On heating at 100 degrees Celsius, it loses 1.5 water molecules and forms plaster of Paris. This plaster of Paris should be always stored in an airtight container because when exposed out, it absorbs moisture from the atmosphere and hardens, and again it forms gypsum. Plaster of Paris is used for making toys, decorative materials, for smooth ceilings, and also for plastering fractured bones. Of all these 5 salts that we have seen now, washing soda and plaster of Paris have water molecules attached to it. In the same way, few other salts also have water molecules attached to them. Such salts are called as hydrated salts. The number of water molecules present in this hydrated salt is called as water of crystallization. For example, copper sulfate has 5 water molecules attached to it, so its water of crystallization is 5. In the same way, the water of crystallization in ferrous sulfate is 7 and for the gypsum it is 2. When hydrated salt are heated strongly, they lose their water of crystallization and becomes colorless, and finally it is called as anhydrous salt. On adding the water again, it regains its color. For example, copper sulfate crystals with 5H2O are blue in color. When these crystals are heated, they lose all the water of crystallization and forms anhydrous copper sulfate, which is white in color. Dehydration of copper sulfate crystals is a reversible process. So when water is added again to this anhydrous copper sulfate, it gets hydrated and turns into blue again. So this type of hydrated salt, which becomes anhydrous and losing its water molecules, are called as efflorescent salts. So apart from the hydrated salt and efflorescent salt, few chemical compounds like sodium hydroxide and perchloride starts to melt by absorbing moisture from the atmosphere. Such substances are referred as deliquescent substance. In this session, we have learnt about the 5 important types of salts and their uses. Thank you, students.